Hi there, Happy New Year. I think it's Tuesday, but don't quote me on that. Oh dear, I'm so cold. So cold, I can't get warm. Well, I hope you've had a brilliant New Year. We've had a Christmas. You know, the flu bug or whatever it was. I think they called it the winter bug. My son has been dying with the cold all over the time. My poor daughter-in-law, she's cough, 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 nearly making her so sick. She sounds like a sea lion, you know, clapping for fish. Yeah. And I've had the usual stomach bug. So it's been a happy time all the way around, yeah. I'm wearing my old mitts that I got from Moonbeams and Mayhem. I had to repair them though. A friend's dog got a hold of one of them and bit a hole in it. So, you know, people have often asked me if I made them myself, but they are fleecy lines, so I'm not that clever. Can't put fleecy lines on things. I have been treating myself, you know, a Christmas present to myself from Moonbeams and Mayhem, you know, one of my favourite shops. Bought myself a bag. I thought, you know, you might as well treat yourself to something to Christmas, yeah? I think it's very cute with all its, oh, can you see it? Felt flowers and baubles and everything on it, yeah? It's got these long strings that you tuck in when you're not, you know, it's closed. Yeah, so no good in Fleetwood wet weather because it's made of felt. So it would be very wet and heavy and soggy if I went out with it when it was raining. But hey ho, yeah. Never mind. So what have I been doing over Christmas? Well, the last 2 days I asked my son to bring a great big box, massive box full of old photographs down. Trying to sort through them all. But so many are missing. I don't know what's happened to them. Including my wedding album, which, you know, yeah, I got divorced, but I kept the wedding album. But I also had a box with all, like, proofs of photos that I didn't actually buy. There was a whole stack of them. But they've got my relatives on. And this is what I've been doing this last week, is compiling the old photographs of my relatives on one side of the family. And I've yet to do the other side of the family. Hoping to reunite them with people. My son is not interested in like family history, family photos, things like that. So before I pop my clogs, you know, I'm not in any imminent danger, don't get me wrong, I don't feel that poorly. But, you know, I thought I'd like to reunite some of them with the families of the people that they belong to. I mean, in actual fact, one of them was a photograph of one of my uncles. And his daughters, I mean, he's deceased, obviously, my mum's family are all deceased now. And they live in Australia, and she'd never seen this photo. So I said to her, right, just give me your address and I'll post it. I don't care where it is, I'll post it, yeah. So I'm going to reunite some of the photos. I've been reunited some with my cousin. He didn't know we had so many photographs of him. But bear in mind, we lived with the family in Wales for about 6 to 12 months when I was young. So he was like a big brother to me, if you know what I mean. I had my own brother and then I gained another kind of brother. So there is quite a few photographs of him. And his boat. They had a beautiful boat in the harbour at Conway, or Conway as it's now called now. And it was like a big boat called Narada. But my cousin Roy took the engine out because it wasn't big enough to power the boat, or there was some reason or other why he took the engine out. And it was at the house where we used to live, called Glassfryn. It was, we think he means Blue Hill, I'm not too sure. Not very Welsh, so I don't know. And it sat there. And it sat there as long as I can ever remember. And I don't think it ever made it back into the boat. And he was doing the boat up. But I think it was a big excuse for him and my brother, who was then probably 15, 16 years old. But Roy, of course, was older. He was about 19 or 20. For them to go and spend the weekend on this boat, allegedly doing it up. I must admit it never saw much progress, you know, all the time. We lived there, but I loved it. It was like playing house to me. I'd be about 7 years old. And the boat as it was, and then it had like, you know, downstairs to the back cabin, or as it called it, aft. That was like 2 beds. It was made into like a bedroom. It was like a boudoir. Whoever had it before had made it proper ladylike, like a ladylike boudoir. And it fascinated me at that age, yeah. And then you went upstairs and there was the cabin, you know, where you sit around, a bit like a caravan trailer, with a table in the middle. And then the other way down, which would be the front, whatever you call it, the front of the boat. The fore. Is there a fore or an aft? I don't know. There's a stern, I know that's the back, isn't there? And the front, anyway, the pointy bit was the galley or the kitchen. And it had the toilet in there. The, you know, one of those sea-going pump toilets. It wasn't a flush toilet, anything that posh, it was a pump toilet, yeah. But I used to sit there quite happily with my knitting, and I think my mum and dad were probably glad to get rid of me, you know, for the sort of day, afternoon or whatever. And I spent many a happy day sitting on this boat, watching the boats chugging up and down the river and everything. When the tide was out, you could actually walk to the boat and climb up the ladder and get in it. But when the tide was in, we used to have to use a little rowboat, yeah, which scared me a bit at 7 because it knocked about a bit. But, you know, hey ho. Yeah. So it's got very, very happy memories. So all these came flooding back when I looked at all these old photos. And it was nice to look back on them. So now I've got my dad's side of the photos. And looking in all the old photographs, my father kept every single driver's licence he ever possessed. There's all these little books of driver's licences. Because in the UK we had a little red book that opened up. There was no pictures or anything like that back in the day. Just a little red book that said you were, oh, the dogs are jumping up because my family are back. So it's probably going to be a very short video because I don't like videoing when they're in. I don't know why. I know they're not bothered. I know they're not interested. But the dogs will probably go bonkers now. There we go. So I'm going to shut the dogs out. I won't be a moment. Then I can carry on in peace, hopefully. They're not going to come flying back in again. Oh. Well, my son's got his hood up, so it looks like it's raining hard outside. They'll probably go in the kitchen way because they're bringing food supplies in. Not that I've been eating much anyway. I've just had this bug thing. Oh, there we go again. I've been wanting to get back in the shed, but I've not even managed that. Today my chores are, well, I was going to do the rest of the photos, but I think it's Christmas tree. Time to take the Christmas tree down. I did get a nice ornament from one of my my great-grandson. I've only got one grandson. It's a little wooden reindeer. And it's got my name underneath, if you can just about see it. It says Janet. And the nose is actually a sweetie. A wrapped up red sweetie. Well, chocolate. I think it's a Lindor. So it's a Lindor moment. So I've been trying to hide that so the dogs wouldn't get it. The dogs have got a thing about chocolate, yeah. So, yeah, it was a little bit sad looking through some of my own personal photographs because it was all photographs. Oh, here we go again. Of my old house, which, you know, made me a little sad because, you know I loved that house so much. But I just could not stay in it, you know, and especially now with the energy crisis and everything going up, I probably couldn't have afforded to heat it. And as you can see, I do feel the cold so badly. I've got more layers than an onion on today. Yeah. So today, I don't know, I'll take the Christmas tree down, put away the decorations, and see if I can scan any more of the photographs of my dad's side of the family. And then maybe I can hopefully, you know, sort of tidy the photos down from 2 boxes into 1, yeah, which would make a nice change, yeah. And hopefully reunite more of these photographs with the relevant people. You know, I'm saying on this, I made this private Facebook page in case you're wondering, because you won't be able to see them because they're all private. My blooming phone, what's wrong with it? Anyway, not many people have actually said they wanted them, you know, so I was hoping to get rid of them, you know. I don't want to keep them. I just want to keep the photographs of my grandma and granddad because, you know, they're sort of personal special to me. But all the rest of them, of all my other cousins, then, you know, I'd rather they went to my other cousins, if you're with me, and give them back again. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to start again on the Buckley side of the family. That's my dad's side of the family. I've done the Butterworth side of the family, which was my mum's side. So I don't know how you all cope with boxes and boxes of photographs that you have of your own. I mean, I must have took so many photographs of my own little family, you know. And I've reunited some with his dad that belonged to his dad and his dad's friends and that. I did give him an awful lot when we separated, but I still found a few more that I'm thinking, who are these? They must have been Alan's friends. So I've reunited them back again with his dad. And but I'm really sad about my wedding album. It's not the fact that I know I'm divorced, but I know for sure I would not have thrown it away because they are memories that belong to the family. But I'm so sad about it, and my son's had a look round and he said, no, it's not here, it's not there. But also in the same box was all the birth cards I got when my son was born, and all the cards I got when I got married, which I still kept. And I know I packed them because I've asked my niece and she said, yes, you did, you packed them. But so many things have not made it here. They went from my house. Some things went to the tip because the charity shops were all closed due to COVID when I moved. So I couldn't take things to the, you know, the thrift, the Goodwill. So loads and loads and loads of my clothes and everything finished up down the tip. So I think my son was taking boxes to the tip at the same time as he was taking boxes to the storage unit. And I think somewhere along the line a couple of boxes have gone adrift because I've never found my sandals, summer sandals, or my trainers, as you call them, plimsolls, whatever you call them in America, I don't know, but we call them trainers over here. You know, casual shoes. So, I don't know. Anyway, the family are in there clanking about, so it's time I did something else rather than waffle on here, because I've got nothing to show you, because I've not done a stitch of crochet. I did finish that chunky cardigan, but that is in the conservatory waiting to have buttons stitched on, so I will show you another time when I've actually finished stitching buttons on. So, but as I say, it was nice making this Facebook page because I've been down memory lane with a lot of my cousins. They're far-flung, my cousins. I've got some in Canada, some in America, some, I think, well, I've got Australia, New Zealand. I'm just trying to think where the others are. But they're all over the place, so it was nice to get back in touch with them. And we're all saying that we should all have another sort of reunion before my generation. You know, they all fall off the twig, you know what I mean? Because a lot of my cousins have already passed away. And a lot of them are in their 80s now, you know. I'm one of the younger ones at 77. I think the younger ones are in Australia. I think they're probably in their 60s. But even so, you know, we need to meet up again before we all depart this world, don't we? That would be nice to see them all one more time. Well, we said that last time we had a reunion about 4 years ago. And we said that would be one more time. We may not do it again. And sadly, when I look at the photograph, I mean, so many have actually passed away since that photo was taken. And I'm sitting in the middle like a great big fat matriarch, you know. Luckily, I've lost a load of weight since then, so I'm no longer the fat one in the middle. But, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 of my cousins have passed away since that photo was taken. And of course, my own brother passed away since, well, he wasn't there actually, I think he passed away before that photo was taken. Oh, here we go. Anyway, I hope you've had a very nice New Year. I haven't made any resolutions. I don't know whether you've made them or not. I've just got a huge to-do list, really, you know. It's not really resolutions, it's just what I want to do, yeah. You know, sort out my shed, which I'm always banging on about, aren't I? Get rid of the crocheting, as in selling it. I don't want to give it away, selling it to generate some money and to also make room in the shed. Tidy up the yarn and sell some of that off because I've got too much. And general things like that I want to do. Get the sewing machine out because, as you know, I seem to have shrunk and all my dresses, I'm tripping over them at the bottom. So that would be another thing to do. Paint my doll's house, another to do. I did make a big list. I made the list actually in a 2020 planner. I was all full of ideas. I bought this 2020 planner because like that was the year I was moving. And I kept it for about a month and a half. And then the interest just waned and I didn't. So I'm actually using my 2020 planner to write my to-do list. I don't see there's much point in buying a 2023 planner or diary because I never use them. I used to buy one religiously every year, you know, whoa, I'm gonna. I have bought myself a new calendar. You can see it on the wall there. No, you can't. But it's of Skiathos because that's my favourite place that I would love to go back to but never will, sadly. It's full of hills like that. All the streets go up, up. Some of them have got steps, which of course I couldn't do in my scooter. And the rest of them are cobbled. So like on my scooter I'll be a bit like going back to Skipton Yarn Festival, wouldn't it, yeah? So one of my to-dos is go on holiday this year. I need to go on holiday. I won't be going abroad because I've got no passport. And I don't really plan on spending about £80 to £100, whatever it is these days, on a passport when I know I've not got a holiday abroad planned. It's very difficult for me to go abroad these days because I can't walk very far. And you have to, it's okay for a wheelchair user, you can get things for the plane and getting on the plane and that. But not a lot of places hire scooters unless I go to Spain or somewhere like that. You know, these big resorts, which I don't like, where you can hire a scooter. But it would be awkward for me to even take my little wheelie with me, which I could take in this country. So I maybe do a coach type holiday, you know, where they take you to the destination. Yeah, the problem always being, you see, single person. You pay double for being a single person, yet they shove you in the smallest room they can put you in. I don't mind paying double for a double if I get the double room, you know, with the 2 beds and the, you know, shower and everything like that. But when you're a single person, you pay extra and usually finish up in a cupboard at the top of the stairs, you know, or next to the lift shaft. And also I would need a lift because I'd either have to be on the ground floor or I can't go up the stairs, yeah. So it's all got to be, I'm sure there must be holidays that cater for people like me, who kind of walk about a bit and want to take the scooter with them. Which would be a little bit awkward because I have the scooter in one hand and the suitcase in the other, and it could be fun. Cross that bridge when we get to it. And also on my to-do list is go and see Sue. Yeah. She's doing fine, by the way, but she's had no water for, well, she's got it now, but she had no water for 3 days because her pipes froze. Because she forgot to leave a tap running, you know, like you're supposed to do if you think everything's going to freeze. She forgot to do that, so she had no water for 3 days, yeah. I mean, fortunately, touching wood, you know, we didn't have that problem even though it went cold. Oh, there's a great big wagon just gone past. I'm very nosy if anything goes past. I even waved at the dustbin men, or the trash can, whatever you call them in America. Yeah. I've got one, he's so lovely, and he waves like that to me. And today he's going like that with over his heart. Such a sweet man. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go now, so I wish you all a happy new year, and I'm going to go and do some work now. Pull this tree down. End of Christmas. Bye-bye.